about 10 o'clock in the evening, so for me that's time to get active and do something. This year, for our winter camping trip, Matt and I have decided to do a Pulk Sled challenge. So what that means is I bought these sturdy, thick plastic regular sledding sleds from Shoppers Supply, and I just got back from Walmart getting some various tools, not really tools, got some letters for license plate, rope for pulling, and a bunch of different nuts and bolts and eyes. So our challenge is Matt is going to make his Pulk sled and I'm going to make mine, and then we're going to see whose is the best. So I'll kind of show you what we have to get started here. Plastic. They're good plastic sleds, so it's a really good base sled to start out with. It's really sturdy. Excellent for pulling people, but not quite ready to pull gear yet. So that's what my job is going to be tonight. And probably a couple other nights, because I doubt I'll finish it just tonight. So I'm going to videotape my progress. Matt said he won't videotape his progress, so you won't get to see his disaster being made, but I'll let you see mine, because I'm sure it's going to be just perfect. Number one rule of project building: twos. Power tools. Well, hey, so we're getting pretty far with the sled. I was just going to go through some of the stuff that I did so far. Put these along the side for anchors for stuff. And then there's a long, it's actually one of these longer ones that goes through to help support the weight of the sledge. I haven't really had too many problems yet, except my side eye holes things. My bolts at the top sometimes skip, and some of them are really snug and some of them still spin, so hopefully it won't be an issue. Might have to bring a wrench for this or something. It's craft night with the Papins. Oh, what's Matt doing? What are you making?
I don't know what it's called, but it's a competition to beat your sled.
I thought you had a name for it.
I don't have a name for it.
Oh, you're gonna have to get a little bit more creative to beat Big Hoss. Well, Matt is working on his lame excuse for a sled. I'm working on our little alcohol stove, but I have a row of holes here, and I put in this second row because when I put a pot on top, the fire keeps going out. And the second hole didn't work either, so I'm gonna have to get a little bit more inventive. Ta-da! So I just used, actually that's just the metal parts of a heat lamp that you can buy at any store that I bent into shape and then cut off the tips so it was short like my can. So I'm gonna see how long it takes to boil this water. I'm just using nail polish because I had some. And yeah, let's see how it goes. It's been less than 5 minutes. Boiling water. Wow, this shit really does work, and it's like maybe 0.019 pounds, maybe, to carry in my backpack. So I think this little buddy will be coming along some adventures. You cannot blow the stove out. This is what happens. More fire. So I'm really excited I got that done. I've been thinking about it for a long time. But I like to procrastinate, so I just needed a good paper and craft night. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Matt and I are both off work and we're still wide awake. Here's what it looks like without the fire. It's just a little metal thing over, get out of my light. Over a mandarin orange can. So I thought I would show you another little thing that I did a while back. Do-it-yourself thing. This is our pot koozie that I made. It's just that it fits this pot perfectly, and it's just the double-sided aluminum insulation, and it works really nice. And I made this snazzy little lid. So when we're dehydrating our food and soup, and it takes, you know, like 20 minutes and it's cold out, then it keeps it nice and hot. Yeah, just keep drilling right there through my video, butt wipe.
You speak louder. I hear ya.
How rude. Anyway. Pot koozie. Oh, trying to find a new craft idea via Pinterest. Oh my god. Okay, so our Pulk sleds are both finished except for the aluminum pipes that are going to go on the ropes, so that our sleds don't run us over when we go down the hill. But we're going to show you our creations and you can pick the winner. This is sled number 1, created by Matt. He'll tell you a little bit about his creation.
There's not much to say about this. You see it is how it comes. Put my beam across a little bit different than Jenny's. A little bit more heavy duty eye bolts. I have a feeling that the way Jenny built hers, some of her bolts might come ripping out, and I might be carrying a heavier load, so these are rated for 250 pounds. Actually, I'm probably betting that all the bolts Jenny put in are probably going to get ripped out. I'm just preparing for a worst case scenario.
Hey guys, this is Big Hoss. Some of you saw it in production. So I chose to do a cross beam with Big Hoss's name on there, and I tied cow knots. I learned how to tie a cow knot to secure my rope to my carabiners. And I did bolts and washers behind with a wood support so that the bolts don't rip right through the plastic, even though this is pretty thick plastic. Okay, so one more thing about Big Hoss that I think makes him pretty unique is this crossbar, which makes a little bit of a little space underneath, just in case there's something breakable. So you can store fragile things under here when you're out in the bush, so it's not a waste of space. I think in the aesthetic department, especially with my Big Hoss license plate and Papinator license plate, as well as a goat tail light, I think that my sled definitely wins eye appeal. Now we'll go check out Matt's abomination. So this is what Matt likes to call a sled. He's got eye holes here too, but he doesn't have wood support, so I can't wait to see them come ripping through the plastic when a drift hits or some weight gets tugged on his gear. He's also got these vertical ones here that I think are just a waste of space and weight. Also, I'm not so sure about this design right here. See, while Matt thinks that it makes the sled a little bit more aerodynamic, I believe that this is a spear, basically, to spear the sled directly into the side of a drift, thus getting it stuck. So, guess we'll see who's pulling who out of the snow.
This is Big Haas, Jenny's creation. She went for a crossover board, typical of most sleds that you can find on YouTube, whether they be toboggans or plastic base like this. Unlike me, she went with a smaller eye bolt. Let's see how that handles when a pack of wolves jumps on the back of her gear and she's trying to run away. It'll break off, but that's probably the only thing it would be good for. See, she spent a lot of time thinking of designs to put on it instead of building a sled that might be more functional, but that's okay. There's not much we can do with this. She used little screw-in bolts, which will probably work for securing the gear. I'm not sure how long this wood she put in here will last when the cold wet and the snow gets wet on top of it and maybe snaps, but we'll find out. But not really different than mine except for initial design up top.
Alright, so we've shown you our sled creations, and this concludes the challenge for the Papinator Pulk Sled Challenge, except unless something drastic happens out in the bush, which could possibly happen, and I will be sure to let you know.
Don't worry, I've been working out a lot to pull hard gear.
Now it's time for you to vote on whose sled you think is best. I think we all know whose you're going to pick.
Mine.
Ha. No wiener dogs were harmed in the making of this video.